I would say that's probably what a lot of people think about this episode. That's all I'm going to say right off the bat.
That could make Boba Fett like a boob.
What?
That could make Boba Fett like a dope.
It's not his fault that happened. But anyways,
so does this show.
Right. What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight. Of course, this is Khaos Central's The Boba Fett Roundtable, Book of Boba Fett Roundtable. And I see Drop Shop, Zilla Nation in the house. Darius Munchausen, sorry. Number one is there too. Number one, I heard you were in the hospital. Hope everything's good. I hope to see you tonight, 9 p.m. on the second group of the Book of Boba Fett Roundtable. But since this is the first group, we're going to go around really quick, get everybody to introduce themselves, and then we will get on with the show. First off, next to me, one of the partners in crime I have here on Khaos Central, it is Mr. Onzo of Bigger Ford Entertainment. Onzo, please tell everybody about yourself.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Let's go Cowboys. That's all I'm going to say. Other than that, you guys know the shows. Book of Boba Fett. Let's do this. Oh, by the way, Group A, this is the best group. Just to say. That's all.
It is so funny that, on the Hawkeye one, they did it. On this one, they're doing it. I love the two. I love the competition between the two groups. It's great. But okay, up next, and that's all right, Anzo. I don't want to cut you off. That was it.
Yeah, I'm good. That's it.
All right, cool. All right, up next is Mr. Comic Chat, Danny. Danny, please tell everybody about your channel and yourself.
I am Comic Chat, Danny Graham. Monday nights, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My show is the Chaotic Conversation. One of 3 shows on the Khaos Central channel. Don't go Cowboys. Come on, 49ers. Use whatever tricks you got in the bag to defeat these suckers. Because if we don't, we're going to have to move to a different planet. And I don't want to move to a different planet. But ready for the show tonight.
Awesome. What's up? I see Guy Scar in the chat, too. Thank you, Guy Scar. Austinator modding for us. Austinator the moderator. Or the Asta moderator. Or whatever you want
the moderator-nator.
Oh, that's it. The moderator nader. That's right. Okay, very good. All right. Up next is Mr. Nindroid 243. Nindroid, how you doing? And we'll tell him about your channel, please.
All right, I'm doing actually pretty good tonight. All right, you guys can personally find me on my own YouTube channel, now known as the Droid Cantina. I was renaming it and all of that. We got some good Star Wars content coming on the channel. The whole channel's gonna have a little bit of a makeover and all of that. So guys, if you want some Star Wars content such as top 10s and reviews of episodes and all of that, go check it out. And I'm excited for tonight, Chris. So, yep.
Awesome. Yes, I am too. Let's talk about this right after we get to Austinator. Austinator, tell everybody about yourself, please.
Yes. Well, first, before I talk about myself, in the chat, I put in the pinned tweet on Khaos Central saying that we are currently live. So if you have not go ahead and done so, go on Twitter and go and retweet. Otherwise, you can find me on my own channel where we just reached over 200 subs. We did a huge celebration stream on Saturday. I do a bunch of streams throughout the week. You can find me on channels like the Real View 3000 for the weekly wrap up. Also the Rumble, where last season I'm still the youngest champion of the Rumble. Looking to make it 2-time this year. You can find me on the Droid Cantina for content over there. If everybody at this point, I've been on everybody's channels, so just go check them out. Go and subscribe to everybody, and you can find me on my Twitter at the Oscillator17. Sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet, sometimes I don't. It's a lottery. Go check me out. Now,
there you go.
Thank you, Chris, for having me on. Now, this is going to be an interesting roundtable tonight.
It is. I am Chris Knight. The Real Review 3000 is my channel. This here, where you're watching, is Khaos Central. Make sure you share out the stream. Make sure you share it out on your favorite social media. Smash that like button. Also, guys, remember, KhaosCentral.com. I don't talk about this enough, but we do have a website associated with Khaos Central. I am looking for writers for it. If you'd like to write, review movies, review music, whatever. If you want to do that, by all means, talk to me, and we'll work out getting you on the website. But go check it out. It's for the fact that I don't ever pimp it out, it gets about 60,000 viewers a month, which I think is pretty darn good. So what can I say? Anyways, let's get to it, guys.
Hey,
Just-
did Austin say he's the youngest champion of the Rumble?
Yes.
The youngest champion, like of just the show, the one show.
I thought it was
So
only
it's
two
not-
champions, LDG and Anzo.
Oh yeah, yes.
Whoa.
But what I mean is that he won one of the episodes, so he is the youngest single episode.
Yeah, they're
champion.
Okay, I'll just get clarification. I got you now.
No. He has not yet been a grand champion. So
that's the end goal, though.
I got you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just trying to get clarification.
they went for it,
Fuck
didn't they?
this shit.
Damn. Oh well. Okay, guys. Let's get to it. Let's talk about the overall thoughts you had, and we'll start with that. Overall thoughts on the episode. Anzo, please go.
Overall episode was trash. Straight up trash. Didn't
Okay.
like it.
All right.
That's it.
Okay, Danny.
You know, I'm gonna give a backhanded compliment to Anzo because Anzo's my brother, highly intelligent brother. I have learned a lot from him in the 2 years we've known each other. I don't understand. I really don't understand how he can hate this and love that damn Peacemaker. That Peacemaker is some shit that I barely laugh at. It's so ridiculous. Because I think the show is good. I like where it's going. I'm happy with it. I don't see trash about it. Is it slow in some parts? Yes. But I'm learning stuff about Boba Fett and that whole part of Star Wars. I didn't have a clue because I didn't read the EU books. I haven't read EU books. This is supposed to be canon. So I'm interested in seeing what's supposed to be this series Luke Skywalker moment, if any at all. I'm hearing some things. If it is, it's gonna be pretty cool to see some of the old characters if they're gonna do that. So far, I'm happy.
And you know what, Danny? You are my boy, and I've learned a lot from you too. But you like Mortal Kombat, so your kind of taste in movies.
No,
is so
I said
special.
I like some parts of it. You heard me say I like Kung Lao. That's what I hang my hat on. That Kung Lao moment was fire.
There was a couple good moments in the movie. It's just the overall premise of the movie is not that great.
Yes.
They didn't need the whatever his name was. Cole, was it Cole?
Yeah,
Cole
I
Young.
can't even remember the name of the fucking character. Is that horrible? But whatever. Anyways, all right. Dendroid. Overall thoughts.
Okay, I actually liked the episode. Now it's not the best.
Go
thing
figure.
yeah. Okay, but I do have many issues with it. So yeah, I just thought it was like all right.
Okay. All right. Ostinator.
Well, it is the weakest episode thus far. I won't go as far as say it's complete trash, but I'll go more specifics. But I'll just say this: I'd rather watch Peacemaker than this.
Boom.
Oh, you drunk. You drunk as fuck.
Boom.
Yeah, he's starting young.
We got one panelist that's high and the other one's drunk. Boy, I tell you.
Ostinator's my boy. That's what I'm talking about.
I still have to watch. I still have to watch it.
Yeah.
But I think we
Chris.
waited on.
It's good.
It's ridiculous, man. The intro. You, Austin, you
But-
tell me the intro is good.
Yeah,
I think that-
It's fire.
I think the way I read things and what I've read about it so far is that they're literally looking to just make it as cheesy and stupid as possible.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, and it's
I will
working.
not be on a Peacemaker round table. I will not.
Okay. I'm not doing one, so I guess I guess we hate DC here because I don't know if it has any of us done.
I don't hate DC, but
roundtable.
that's ridiculous.
I don't think we've ever. Hey, what do you think about that bat?
Only
stuff?
thing I like
Yeah,
is
that's
sex
what
scenes.
saved
Sex
DC,
scenes are
isn't
fire.
it? All right. Okay. So,
What were you gonna say, Danny? Who's fire?
The sex scenes are fire.
But the
that tells you
blonde
what Danny's
chick
paying
is
attention to.
the blonde chick is fire too.
I will give
All
it funny when she showed that picture of the hoo-ha. That was funny. That was funny.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, when she was doing the pictures, and then
Yeah.
she sort of showed her girlfriend. But yeah, the blonde chick is fire. When she gets the call and gets out of bed, Danny, you didn't think that scene was hot?
It was funny. Some parts
All right.
funny, but it's mostly
Um,
goofy. I'm sorry.
I think
Get back to Boba Fett.
I
Yeah,
think
and
that the
one last thing, Chris.
episode.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. No,
Danny's
go,
the
go.
same guy who doesn't like Blank Man and Meteor Man.
Oh
There you
fuck
go.
no, I don't. I don't.
That is true. This is true. And from, like I said, from what I've read, they are literally hamming it up. It was I almost believe that this was never meant to be really serious.
They
His
got-
character isn't.
They got
Right.
extra truckloads of ham on this one, brother.
That's fine. I probably won't hate it then. I'll have to watch it. I got it. I'll just go watch it tonight. They're all released, aren't they? Are they releasing them week by week?
No, they got the first three.
First
Okay,
three,
first
yeah.
okay.
Then they come out
Watch the
every
first
Thursday.
three,
Come out every
and-
Thursday.
and maybe we'll do a round table, Chris.
Well, hell yeah.
That'll work. All right. I didn't
You're
hate
there,
the
Danny.
episode.
Mm-mm.
You're there. Sorry.
I didn't hate this episode. There are problems in this episode, but I'll get to what those problems are. Again, I think like last week, this week, it isn't so much I hated it or I didn't like it as much as I have issues with it. I watched it a second time to see if things went better, and they kind of did the second time I watched it through. So it's like, okay. But it just has some issues with it. And so I'm not sure where it stands yet. I'll have to think about my grade. But let's go to what did we like. And let's start with Austinator, and we'll go back around the opposite way. I think Alonzo did that the first time. It was either you or Danny that ever did that with the roundtables, and I really like that idea. So whichever one of you started that, I appreciate it. It's a good idea.
You're welcome.
Austinator, go ahead and start. What did you like about this episode?
All right. Well, I like the beginning of the episode where, he's like negotiating with the gang and stuff where he's like, so why are you stealing the water? Which that kind of irked me. I'm like, it makes sense, but at the same time it was just kind of weird. Like, oh, well, we're stealing water. It's like, geez, it's like freaking getting a stick last episode. It's like, I don't know. That just felt really weird. But they're like, well, we can't afford it. And then they're like, oh, well, then Boba's like, all right, well, then you work for me. Like, that was cool. And then Boba giving the guy 500, giving like 500 of, the money they owe. And he's like, well, it's 1,300. And they're like, nope. He's like, no, I'm just going to give you 500. That scene didn't bother me. The bikes themselves didn't bother me either. It wasn't until later on in the episode that they were Power Rangers. But I'll get into that when I get into that. The flashbacks in this episode were a lot better. I liked where we see young Boba Fett on Kamino. I thought that was really cool. And I did like the stuff on Tatooine where he's like negotiating with the guy. I forgot his name, but so it was like, well, the Tusken Raiders, we can protect you. And then the guy's like, no, we're kind of paying this gang to help protect us. And then Boba's like, well, then how about I kill the gang that's protecting you, so then we can protect you. And he's like, all right, cool. So then when we see the Tusken Raiders dead and then the music playing in the background of that was great too. I really liked the music in that scene. That was a big positive. Danny Trejo was cool too, because it's Danny Trejo. I mean, he's just a badass in general. So I mean, it was cool seeing him. Other than that, I think that was really it, at least with the stuff that I liked.
Anything else?
No, if something comes up, I'll probably bring it up, but otherwise, I think that's all I got for now.
All right, fair enough. Dendroid, what did you like about this episode?
Okay. I'm actually going to echo Austin a lot here. I do really enjoy the beginning scenes and all of that. And I also really like that this was technically the first episode that we saw more present day stuff and all that. And we only had one flashback, which to me, I actually like the flashback because I just wanted to stop with the flashbacks. And I thought, seeing the Tuskens die and all of that was Jabba's ex-gang, which killed them and all that. from canon and all of that. I really actually like that. And the music in that scene, just like what Austin said, it actually felt like Star Wars music, in my opinion. Felt very good and all that, like a good soundtrack right there. And I do like the concept of a gang, because most crime bosses and all of that, some do have like a gang, a motorcycle gang and all that. So I do like the concept, but then I'll get to the negatives where it's execution. But anyway, also I do like a lot of the world of Tatooine. I like that we saw a fruit from Rebels, actually, closer to the end of that speeder chase. I like the pit droids appearing, like the background stuff I also enjoyed within the episode. And I also like the Pikes are more involved as well, because that's more teases of Crimson Dawn and all of that. So, yeah.
For the record, I just want to say, don't nobody say nothing to me about Mace Windu again, because ever since this shit been coming on, all them joy talking about fucking Crimson Dawn. So I don't want to hear nobody else say nothing about Mace Windu when I bring him up.
Why you thinking nobody wants to see Mace Windu?
I don't know, but shit, every time I say it, oh, Mace Windu, and this is damn. Every time we come on here, and enjoy talking about Crimson Dawn, which I don't give a shit. I'm just saying the way he loved Crimson Dawn is the same way I love Mace. But ain't nobody say nothing about Crimson Dawn and him saying it 50 million times.
Hey,
Damn.
I don't like Crimson. Crimson Dawn to me is just a mediocre thing.
Okay, but you bring it up. Go back
Solo.
and watch the video. You bring it up every week.
Yeah, I do bring it up every week because it has potential to be great. Because
all I'm saying.
Crimson Dawn.
All right,
Wait a second.
That's all I'm saying, then, George.
Danny, just wait a second. Danny, wait a second.
I love it. It's not me.
Danny, wait a second.
I'm
Crimson
waiting.
Dawn was a George Lucas idea from his original sequel trilogy. So that's why I think they're kind of doing that with this. So I want to see that. I want to see a better Crimson Dawn.
Okay, I'm happy for you, bro. I'm there. I'm with you. All I'm saying is the same energy that you got about Crimson Dawn, I got that same energy about Mace Windu. That's all I'm saying.
And George Lucas has been said, and he has said that he believed that Mace Windu survived. Now he never put it in anything canon, as far as I know. But I like Danny's idea, and this is the series to do Mace Windu. So
George Lucas also said he would never do flashbacks in the Star Wars either.
That is true. He was very adamant about that.
Flashbacks, yeah.
What's the big deal with flashbacks?
They waste time, if I remember right, was his words.
Oh, I don't know what his words were. I don't know why he said it. I just remember him saying.
Sometimes flashbacks tie things together.
That's true. All right, Danny, what did you like about the episode?
I like the episode. Definitely that steroids taking Wookiee. I don't know what his name is. I can't call it.
Black Cassandra.
That sucker is a fucking beast. Not quite sure how he got into the castle. I get on that in my negatives, but I like that. I wouldn't have let him go. I would have tried and bargain and see if he would have worked for me if I was Boba, but he didn't choose to do that. I don't think the bikes wouldn't have been that bad if they were maybe not so bright, but the people kind of call them Power Rangers and stuff. I could see the correlation. I think it would have been better if the speeding scene was faster. I think that would hurt it. But I didn't really have a problem with the whole chase scene. Just it was like extremely slow, like slow motion shit. When we get to the negatives, Anzo said something earlier on the show that, and I kind of agree with what he said, and I'll touch on negatives. But overall, I like the show. It could have been better. And I know times I saw the back to tank, I said, "Oh, here come the flashback." But at least on the flashback, it wasn't this long. It kind of one good thing I like about this flashback, it was an end to the Sand People. You know what happened to him. We ain't gonna worry about it no more. We shouldn't have any more flashbacks. So it tied up that storyline pretty nicely. So
there might be more flashbacks because we're still not sure how long after that the whole Mandalorian thing happened.
At least you won't see any sand people. Well,
yeah, we're getting closer. We're starting to tie that gap in now. So yeah.
Well, somebody said that the female warrior wasn't in that group. So I don't know whether she got away or not. So we may see her. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention.
I don't know if she died or.
I know the ruler did.
I don't think she died. Yeah.
The king, whatever he was.
During the train, there were several that died. I wasn't sure if she was in that.
She didn't die in the train.
No, she didn't die in the train.
Okay. We didn't see. I didn't see her body in the end flashback.
Yeah.
But we did saw the king or the ruler, whatever the hell they call him, the high priest. He was in there, but I didn't see her. So we may see her. Guys saying she's alive. So, but I'm happy with the way they closed it out. I'm tired of seeing the same people. So if that's how it ended, I'm good with that. And I do like the fact that they gave us more real time versus flashback time. So I was happy with it.
Okay. Anzo,
I do have some negatives though.
Yeah, so it'll be quick. The beginning, like when they had the little fight, the beginning of that fight was like, oh shit, okay, this is fire. When he pulls Boba Fett out the battle tank, I was like, yes. And then they start having a little fight, and then go Power Rangers step in, and that's where it went down for me. So that's about all I liked about this episode, to be honest with you.
Okay. I like the whole integration of the different syndicates. They're starting to get that direction. I like that. That was kind of the whole idea behind what Han Solo was supposed to start, is the introduction of these crime syndicates. And then, according to some of the things I heard perhaps that Bad Batch is going to incorporate them. We heard that the Mandalorian was going to incorporate it. That it was going to be a recurring thing to go on with these secondary plots because it's within that universe, but it's a totally different thing going on in the background to the Skywalker saga. So I do like that they're building that up. I like the Rancor. I think that if they could be playing that in the wrong direction, because it certainly seems like they're going a certain way with that, and I can talk about that a little bit later. I like that there's at least some people in the palace now. That's something that was really bothering me, is the fact that it's like a ghost town in that palace. So at least now there's like people there. So I guess that works. Mm-hmm. There were some cool aesthetics that they added back from like the prequels, like the transport ships and things like that we really haven't seen, except for we did see those in Rogue One, and we saw them in Solo, but we saw those originally when they went to Naboo and Attack of the Clones. And you have to figure that this whole universe relies on some sort of transport, and they always seem to go past that because we're always so hung up on look, this guy has a ship, and that's how they're getting around. There are other modes, and not everybody has their own ship. So it's nice to at least admit, hey, look, this is the more normal way. Not everybody has a ship, or if you have a ship, perhaps you're held by the fact that you work for somebody, and that's the only reason why you have a ship, so you can't just go anywhere. I did like to see that. I hope they kind of, I guess that's an expansion of the universe. It helps us understand how the universe works. Makes it feel more lived in. Things that, that's stuff that George Lucas liked. He liked to show things. But there's some stuff in this episode we'll get back to here in a minute that is absolutely not something George Lucas would have liked. Let's start with Anzo on what you did not like about this episode. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So like I said, when they start getting into the fight, with Black Cassanta or whatever the hell his name is, they don't call him Black, they just call him Cassanta. But when they're getting into the fight, it's getting good, and then the Power Rangers come in. I call them Power Rangers, and it's not because of their bikes why I call them the Power Rangers, but it's just I just don't like the crew at all. They're just garbage to me. So, while they're doing the fight, I'm like, where the hell is what's her name? Fennec. Where the hell is Fennec? Like, where is Fennec during this fight? Like, you would think her being the number one, she would be right there ready to defend Boba Fett, but okay, whatever. Then she ends up coming in. And when they take into the throne room, Cassandra just happens to stop right over that fucking 4x4 square where she can come in and push the button and drop him in the hole. And I was just like, okay, that's real convenient, you know? We've had all these flashbacks of the Tusken Raiders, and they just ended up killing them, right? Like, there's no reason. They just ended up killing them and then bringing in this new crew. And for me, I like, nobody seems to have any type of respect for Boba Fett, because when he comes in and he talks to them, they're like, yeah, we know who you are. It's like they weren't even scared of him. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's scared of him. Boba Fett's supposed to be the, you know, his name is the bounty hunter, you know, most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy, and just like nobody really cares about who Boba Fett is.
But that's how they write him.
What's that?
That's how they write him.
Yeah, I know. That's garbage.
Well, let's be honest, he's been gone for like
that's
5+ years. I mean, so when people think he's gone, and rumor probably spread that, oh, I heard he died on Tatooine.
Don't matter though, because Luke's been gone for so long, and he still has a kind of air around him. People know about Luke and stuff like that. You know
One's
what
a Jedi and one isn't.
So, yeah, but still, you gotta know he's the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. He'll have a name recognition for sure.
Where did we get them? And I'm not saying you're wrong. Where did we get the most feared bounty hunter? Whatever was said that made him the most feared.
I believe it could have been in a Clone War episode or one of those ones, but Ninja could tell me.
See, I haven't seen all the Clone Wars, so maybe that came up. I just wasn't.
The holiday special said it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Dear God.
There you go. Someone said it.
Okay.
Oh, someone said it. But either or, it's just little things like that where I was just not liking the episode. Shut up, Danny. And then we get to the chase scene. And the chase scene, that scene looked like I could have walked faster than they were driving in that. It was so dumb. And all they needed to do was just blur the backgrounds to make it look like they were speeding through the city faster. You know? We get to the end of the chase scene, and all of a sudden, Boba Fett just pops up. Boom. It's the same thing that they did the last episode with the train. They were chasing that train. That train was going fast. And then at the end of the train, the rest of the fucking Tusken Raiders just show up there like, where did they come from?
Yeah. Well, you see, there's a big difference there, though. One is you're talking about Banthos and walking in sand, nonetheless.
Right.
And I can give a little bit of leeway to the fact that Boba Fett's got a jetpack, and that they were still in town.
There goes to my next point, though, Chris. Right? So, yes, Boba Fett was, I guess, following them, behind them, or whatever, right? But if you give just a little shot of Boba Fett flying, chasing after them, makes it seem a little bit more better, you know what I mean? Where he's looking down and he's seeing the chase. Then you could also speed it up on that level to make it look like the chase is going really fast. And then you could go back to the slow stuff, and it makes it seem like, you know, they're still speeding at a different rate. So they could have done a lot of things different, at least to show that Boba Fett was there. But I'm just like,
I agree with you. They could have done some cutaways from this probably would have helped the chase too. Him observing the chase from up above.
Right.
I mean, I totally agree with that point. Totally.
Right. You know what I mean? And then they bring in the Rancor, and I was like, oh, God, okay. The Rancor is fine. He gets a Rancor, but then he's petting it and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, I want to ride it. And I'm like, okay, well, there you go. They're going to bring in the Rancor just so that they can have him ride it in the last episode. I'm like, I don't want to see him ride the Rancor. You know, he has that armor. He has jetpacks. He has all kinds of stuff. I want to see him do cool shit. I don't think riding the Rancor into battle is going to be some cool shit that I want to see. I'm just like, not interested. So I'm still watching it, but I'm just not excited about it. And before I move on to Danny, Guys, get ready because the game of the night is coming. The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Kansas City Chiefs, where we are going to beat them. That's all I want to say.
God, I don't know if I want to watch that or not. Negatives. I didn't understand how his castle was infiltrated that easy by someone of such great size as that Wookiee. That was crazy. It makes me think Fennec. I think we say this on Gascar show. Maybe she playing both sides or something, or maybe she's gonna be the lead for the Pikes or something, because she sure didn't seem to protect him very well. I mean, he's like in his most vulnerable when he's in that Bacta tank, and didn't have protection, didn't have no sensors, cameras, some kind of alarm system. To me, it looked a little suspect.
Well, if I can say something to that point really quick, Jabba, when he was there, they had tons of different transients there, of bounty hunters and other things. But I can't really tell you how many people actually were a part of Jabba's entourage that were actually some sort of security. I think he just surrounded himself with the biggest crooks in the galaxy, and that's what happened. And that hasn't happened with Boba yet, I don't think. I mean, I don't disagree with you, though. It is like, it's always like, what the hell's going on? So
yeah, but what we always seem is that big damn gate opens up, raises up.
Yeah.
That's how Luke had to get in. So that shit closed at night. I mean, how did he get in there? Somebody had to open up the gate.
Don't know, and I don't disagree with you. So
that's what I'm saying. My dislike, how did he get in there? He shouldn't have been able to get in there that easily, in my opinion.
Okay.
Another thing I didn't like was like what I was gonna say, the slow motion chase. It could have speed that up. That was really so. I don't mind so much. I know somebody was saying something on another channel about Tatooine don't have all those different colors, but those we gotta remember, those are young people. Young people are not gonna be traditional. They're gonna have all kind. If it's something that we think is an older crowd is cool or it's the normal, they're gonna do something to them go against it. So, let's paint our bikes the brightest colors we can find. So that's all I chalk that shit up to. Not that it's not being consistent with Tatooine or whatever. We don't have a problem with that. It's cool they want to make themselves cyborgs. That's fine. I don't really care about that. They were trying to help Boba, and to me, his number one, she seemed kind of nonchalant about it. So I'm not sure about her loyalty with Boba just quite yet. She seems to be playing the part, but I don't know whether she's walking the walk on that too. I don't think that the twins, I don't think they're bound out quite as easy as they say they are. If they are going, if that's all we're gonna see them, I'm not gonna like that. I think they bring a different aspect to the show. So I want to see more of them, not less of them. The Pikes, I'm not sure what Boba's going to do because right now he's vastly outnumbered. He only got 2 Gamorrean guards, Fennec, and a four-man crew. So he desperately needs some warriors. So I don't know who's he going to recruit. Are there more sand people out there? I don't know. Is that females that taught him how to fight? Is she still out there? I don't know. So, but the main thing was just how easy they got him into his Bacta tank room, and then he's not a skilled fighter like Mando. I mean, Mando be kicking ass and stuff when we see on the Mandalorian, but he doesn't seem to be as skilled fighter as Mando is. So hopefully they'll improve his fighting skills.
Anything else?
You're talking about Boba?
Boba.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's.
Yeah, Mandalorian seems more skilled than he is.
And it's weird because they showed that one scene against the biker gang in the.
See, now Boba Fett looked good in the Mandalorian.
I was just about to ask that. Wasn't he? Didn't he look like a badass at least a little bit in the Mandalorian show?
Yeah.
Which is why this is after the Mandalorian season 2. We know that because it shows at the end of Mandalorian season 2, it shows him taking the throne. But that does question how long that time period is. There's a lot of questions with time and what happened still.
I'm just saying
Hopefully, they'll answer those.
they kind of watered him down a little bit compared to what he was because he looked like.
I agree.
Well, they might have an answer. They might. They may not. I don't know. Okay. Dendroid.
Yep.
What did you not like?
Okay. The execution of the speeder bike gang or the scooter bang. You understand what I mean? Like, honestly, the execution of it, the concept, like I already said, is actually really good. You know, really unique and all of that for Star Wars. But execution again, it's just a little bit bad, a little bit weird and all of that. And yeah, the speeder bike chase at the end to me would have been so much better if, you know, like we got some aerial shots of even the bikes and all of that. And yeah, even Boba Fett following them, or even Fennec trying to run to chase after them and
On a
all
rooftop
that.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been really good right there. You know, I do think the fight with Black Chrysanthemum should have been shot better as well, because to me it just looked weird how it was shot and everything. For some odd reason, I don't know like the real reason why, but to me it's like something's just a little bit off on this scene. But anyway, yeah, and just overall I feel like the episode should have been a lot longer as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's really
All
it.
right. Very good. Austinator, what did you not like?
Well, you know, the bikes weren't a major issue, but I do wish they were a little bit more rusted, a little bit more worn down a little bit, because they just looked way too new, and just like, wasn't a fan of that. I really didn't have issues with this episode until literally the Wookiee fight scene, which the action didn't look really good in that scene either. It was very just, I don't know really how to describe it, but it felt not necessarily slow, but it just wasn't shot well. And also when like the Wookiee put Boba in the freaking bear hug, you literally hear like bones crack. I thought he died. Like, I thought his back was broken. I'm like, this man's about to be in a wheelchair. Like,
Just his toe.
Yeah. Right, his toe.
which I'm like, bullshit. And then the Power Rangers come in, which reject, you know, Jason, reject Tommy, reject Trini, and reject Billy show up with their, and they became Power Rangers in that team because they had their own gadgets, their own weapons.
Facts.
Oh my god, really? And yeah, where the hell was Fennec in that scene? Was she asleep? Like, is she that deep of a sleeper that she couldn't hear a Wookiee come in going, "Whoa," and like beating people up? Like, come on here. It's like, and then Fennec literally in the same episodes, literally at the table, like there's a scene where they're eating, and then a droid comes in with food, and then Bo's like, no more food. And
Fascinator speaking facts.
And then Fennec's sitting at the table with their feet up looking like, oh, well, you know, I didn't do anything, but yeah! It's just like, God, really? What the fuck, Fennec?
Where is the Phantom Zone on this place?
He's doing speaking facts.
Jeez,
Keep going, Austinator.
Fennec's being disrespectful. And then...
All right. If you want a Phantom Zone, there's a Phantom.
Yeah.
You may continue, Austinator.
All right, well, you know, the whole Rancor scene, that just went on way too long, and it got really creepy. Like, freaking, he's just, like, rubbing up on him, being like, hey, you know, this is a Rancor, and then it's like, okay, and then he's rubbing up on him, he's like, I want to learn how to ride it, and I'm like, now, at first, my first thought was, that's what she said. And then it's like,
she could just make a good point. Fennec is like a robot, ain't she?
Part, if I remember right.
I don't remember. I don't.
Yeah, because they blew a hole in her in Mandalorian, and he must have fixed it with robot parts or something, I thought.
That is true. Yep.
I can't remember the whole story.
Yeah, I remember that good.
Like that about it.
But that whole Rancor scene just went on way too long, and yeah, the last like chase scene, that was bad. It was just very slow. I just don't like that whole like mayor consort character. Like the only thing
Neither do I.
And like the only thing that was good about was that at least we know that the mayor's working with the Pike, so at least they're kind of slowly building that up. But just overall, it's like the first half was okay, but the second half is what kind of not necessarily made me hate the episode, but it's what kind of dragged it down a little bit.
Okay. All right, so I don't disagree with a lot of those points. The mayor is really a pointless part of this. It's like if you're gonna make the Pikes the bad guys or one of the bad guys, just put a Pike as the mayor. Just cut the cord on this long drawn out thing to get to the Pikes and just make one of the Pikes the mayor. We laid claim to this place. It makes sense why they tried to assassinate him, and you just cut to the chase. Boom. You don't need this stupid mayor thing because the mayor's a dude or dweeb or whatever you want to call the motherfucker. And his little handler dude is just, oh my God. I literally feel like I'm growing a vagina when I hear this guy talk. Okay. I mean, it's horrible. I hate that character. So I'm going to go past most of the stuff you guys talked about. I'm going to really focus on the bike chase stuff. So I watched it the second time and it worked a little better. But here's the thing. This is where we get into a problem with Disney Plus and all these series. Is that if it isn't handled by somebody who's done Star Wars, as George Lucas said multiple times, and Anzo, you'll back me up on this, on Return of the Jedi and on Empire Strikes Back, George Lucas worked very closely on both of those movies, even though he didn't direct them, because he understood the special effects part. This is an exact reason why you need somebody like that there. And you need somebody who understands it 100%, because the one thing they forgot to do is literally cut out 3 out of every 4 frames. That is how he sped up the bike chases. They cut frames out to speed it up, because if you've watched all the stuff about walking through the Redwood Forest, they literally walked through the Redwood Forest and shot the whole biker chase from Return of the Jedi, and then they literally cut out tons of extra frames to make it fast. So when you do that, it's like and I saw something out there where they said, haven't I seen this before? And it showed the Back to the Future 2 skateboard chase. When I saw that and then I watched it, I was like, oh shit, they're right. And the problem is when they did the hoverboard chase, it is kind of clunky and slow at times. You can tell they're on wires. There's a lot of problems with that scene, but that was how they had to do it back then. You've got CGI now, people. You don't need to do that. And it felt a lot like that. There were a lot of things. It looked like and you guys have said it. It was a slow-mo bike chase. It's like, oh my God, with a bunch of cuts between Fennec and Boba Pie, Fennec jumping over roofs to try to cut the chase down, to try to catch up to him. A lot of that, a lot of other cuts between all these people. You make the chase feel faster. Blurred backgrounds, another thing. I think, Anzo, did you say that? Or one of you guys?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Okay. Blurred backgrounds, great idea, because that gives the idea fast. And that's, again, how they did it with the bike chases in the past. You just saw stuff going by really quick. You don't focus. It's like they focus too much. It's like they just focused right on it, and you could see everything, and it felt just really slow and lethargic. The second time I watched it, wasn't as slow, but maybe that's just because I was ready for it. But there was just a lot of technical issues with that, and that's because Robert Rodriguez does not understand Star Wars completely. I don't think it killed the episode. I just think it didn't help. Also, I find it funny that Tatooine all of a sudden turned into Cuba, because that's what I thought. These look like 50s cars, and they're bright and colorful. And if you've ever been to Cuba, or you've seen pictures of Cuba, you know that that's all they have is the 1950 cars because of the embargo. And some of those cars are pristine cherry, but compared to the rest of the country, where all the colors are muted because the buildings are old and stuff, they stand out. Tatooine was for one of only two things. One, it was because you wanted to hide away. You were some sort of a crook or a scoundrel, and you wanted to be not found. Or you lived there and you wanted off the rock. Luke said, if there's a bright side of the universe, you are on the planet that is farthest from. There's because he felt isolated and alone out there, and he wanted to get off the rock. And that's what Tatooine is. It's drab. It's uncolorful. Those colors do not belong there. Now, Shifty said, perhaps they were stolen race bikes. Okay, fine. We need some context to that, though, because it's so out of place for them. Now, I've said that some of the pod racers had color to them and stuff, but that was also people who were slave traders and made lots of money from like illegal activities. So they had tons of money to maybe import stuff to help them get colors and stuff. There's just the glossy color does not work. Rust and aged colors would work fine, but not this bright, shiny stuff. Then what is it with the cyberpunk thing? I'm fine with it being in Star Wars. It's not like it doesn't make sense, but literally,
Facts.
It's like they said, "Oh my God, cyberpunk! I love this idea. Let's put it in."
Facts.
Like, we don't really have anything to put this to Star Wars anywhere else. I mean, you would think at some point, even being Disney, you'd think Disney would have incorporated this somewhere if they wanted to add this. This is obviously something new, and I hate to say it, but since Cyberpunk isn't that old, this came from Cyberpunk. In fact, I think Cyberpunk came out between Mandalorian and this, did it not?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I have to go on is the cybernetic enhancements, and even the way they say it, it's like, oh my God, that is so cyberpunk. What is? Oh, big problem for me. Know your terms in Star Wars. It is not vapor farms. They were moisture farms. They were moisture. They had moisture evaporators, and they were moisture farmers. That's what they said. And then you got the guy who trades in water calling them vapor farmers. I was like, no, because when I heard it, I was like, oh wow, that doesn't sound right. They were moisture farmers.
And a dude used mate. He was like, mate. Yeah. I'm like, what? No.
We're not in the penal colonies of Australia. No. But yeah, I mean, it's little things like that. So I don't necessarily put them in hate. It's like, just understand your universe. And if you don't understand it, and Robert Rodriguez, I'm not going to say much about it. The guy's got some good stuff out there, and he's really good with these grindhouse films and stuff. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau both should have stepped in at some point and said, I can't imagine they saw this episode and didn't think that bike chase looked really clunky. So I'm wondering how attached they are per se to this. I mean, I know the names are all over. I know they've talked about it, but I can't see how that got past an editing group. So those are the things that I just was like, ugh. Other than that, I don't think it ruined the episode. I did happen to like this episode. Those are glaring problems that kind of take you out of the moment. Because the whole time.
But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Star Wars can't stay stagnant. At some point, it has to evolve. So
I understand.
Why is this not an evolution?
That's fine. Evolution's fine. But we need context. You got to, and yes, eventually new things have to get put in. Give a little bit of backstory to the bikers, why this gang all of a sudden is doing the droid parts, because hey, they don't have money, so where are they getting the money from? It just helps to have a little idea of it. I like the biker gang.
I know what you're saying, Chris, but there are some people that saying they don't want the flashbacks. If you do give them backstory, me come has a vision. He said he didn't like the anti-hero Boba Fett. If they would do some kind of flashback or backstory to see how he became that, then he could accept it. They did just what he said, and he still didn't accept it. So Star Wars fans are so fickle that if you give them what you want, if you don't give them what they want, they're still going to complain about it. So,
but how about this? You got this place where they go eat. Let's have this biker gang sit down. And Bubba looks at him and says, I'm trying to figure this out, guys. What was wrong with your bodies in the first place? Because the guy even said, I spent a lot of good money. Which, where are they getting the money? Because they don't have jobs. They even admit it. So are they just stealing constantly? So they are a bad group if that's all they did. They didn't just do it. They didn't just steal because the guy was overcharging them for water. They steal everything to get whatever the fuck they want, which doesn't make them good. So, this whole, wait, let me finish real quick on this. So they sit around the table and they're eating, and he says, I don't get it. Why you guys change your bodies like that? And maybe they give a little bit of the backstory right there. They don't have to do a flashback. Same thing. They look at it and says, well, wait a minute, mate. Mate, I said, oh my God, damn you, Anzo. They say, hey, you're Boba Fett. I mean, I've heard about you. You used to be like some badass bounty hunter, right? Why in the world why did you come to Tatooine, stuck on this planet that we all went off of, to be a crime boss? What the hell's in it for you? And then there you go. You answer everything in 5 seconds or in 10 minutes, whatever.
That's a bad argument. That's an argument you would say if after the end of the series they didn't do it, but they didn't do it. They still got 4 more episodes, so they may do it in the 4 episodes.
What I'm saying is and I'm not saying this episode. I'm saying in an episode, if they do that, great.
You know what's funny though, right? These guys were the ones that helped Boba Fett when Black Cassandra was there fighting him.
Mm-hmm.
But when they were eating the dinner, they were nowhere to be seen.
That's true.
So they weren't able to get no food.
Another thing is it's still mighty sparse in the palace. We need people. They need people in the palace. It's getting better, but they need more people.
Come on,
the whole Fennec thing is Fennec ends up being a backstabber. What the hell? He saved her from out in the middle of the desert when she was left for dead.
Yeah, I don't want that either. I don't want
that makes no sense why she would do that. Now, one last thing. At the end, when they're seeing the pikes come off, going back to something George Lucas added into the original trilogy, he added a ton of people using green screens because he felt there weren't enough people, because he felt like Tatooine felt dead and isolated way too much, because he wanted more people in Mos Eisley, and we know Mos Espa is twice the town that Mos Eisley was. So why does it look so dead? You have green screen use. Go ahead and shoot thousands of people in these markets and stuff. Go ahead and shoot thousands of people in these transport yards and stuff. It looks so dead. And that was something George Lucas specifically stated as one of the reasons he wanted to go back and redo the original trilogy, because he wanted to liven up. And here we are, only 5 years after that stuff, and it's dead again. It's just,
yeah.
You got the money to do it. You got the money to do it.
And they could do one of the tricks that George Lucas does is just like he did in Star Wars at the end scene, like film the people and then just show them over and over again. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
To make it look like there's more people.
You flip the image, have them walking right instead of left, and all sorts of different. Okay, Danny, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I was just saying that at the end of the series, if they don't show any of that, then that would be the time to have this argument. Now, while you're in the middle of the series, you don't know what the next episode is going to be because, like I said, and I'm not trying not to be redundant, but comics said the first episode he didn't like such and such. If they showed such and such, then he would like it. They showed just what he asked for, he still didn't like it. So I mean, this Star Wars fandom, I love it, but then I hate it too because some of us are our own worst enemies because nothing that comes out of there, and I'm not saying everything is perfect, everything should be perfect, but I think Star Wars to me is such a childhood, like something that I don't think I'll never hate Star Wars. But I mean, just because it's not what I specifically want to see, I'm not just not going to enable it craziness. And then sometime in the series, I'm gonna give more of a break than the movies. Movies, I think you definitely should be tougher. The last 3 movies just were out of sequence, out of order. They messed up with changing different directors, wasn't on the same. So we all could see that was a train wreck. But on these series, I think that they're getting somewhere. Like the Mandalorian started off kind of slow for us and build up to that Luke Skywalker moment. That's the formula I think they're using. We're gonna start off kind of slow, and some people may call it disjointed or trash, whatever adjective you want to use. But I think it's going to be all right at the end. So that's how I look into it when I see Star Wars fans. When I see Star Wars products, especially the shows. Movies, I'm gonna judge a little bit harsher.
Yeah.
Shows, I'm gonna give a little bit more of a pass.
I'm not. I don't hate the flashbacks. I think this is the best use of them because it was quick and it was to the point. Flashbacks shouldn't be half of your show, so I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with them.
I definitely
no,
agree.
50
The ratio 20% real time, 80% flashback. Yeah, they fucked up with that.
Yeah.
But this percentage, I thought was appropriate. 20% flashback, 80% show.
I don't think that she's a backstabber. I do think they're trying to make it look like she is because when he's hanging there, the one cyberpunk Power Ranger dude comes up with his blaster and is pointing it right at and I can't say his name. What was his name?
Kishana, whatever.
Black Cassanta or whatever.
Cassanta, yeah. So he was pointing that blaster right at him like he was going to shoot him to have him fall. And Fennec throws her knife to hit his hand and he drops, saving him from being killed. So it does kind of frame it like she's like trying to play both sides here. Like she's might be part of the whole Jabba group. And maybe she is. I mean, I guess you can go back and say that that's who she was a part of all along. But again, no context yet. I hope she isn't because it makes no sense to me. I don't think she is either. So, okay, let's get to final thoughts and grade. And if you have any like predictions or anything like that, you can go ahead and do that. Let's start with Austinator. Final thoughts, predictions, grades, all that stuff.
Well, for my final grade, I think for this episode, I'm just going to go straight C. I don't think it was bad, but it's definitely the part of the Disney Plus shows where like the first 2 episodes, it's like it sets it up. The middle is going to be slow. And I do think that because my also final prediction, and it's not really just where it's going to go. I just think this is where the structure is going to be. I think we're going to get one more other slowish episode. It'll probably be either this coming episode or episode 5. I'd probably predict episode 5 is going to be it. But the last 2 episodes are going to be where it gets into high gear and it's going to hopefully be good. That's where I'm kind of thinking. But this episode was all right. I won't say it was like trash. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not even the worst Star Wars thing I've ever seen. But it was just an episode that I felt like, and I think this is something that these Disney Plus shows kind of do. Sometimes I'm not going to say they overbloat it, but I'd say sometimes they overdo it, which it's a good thing. It's a bad thing, but I just want the show to be good. I really want the show to be good. I don't want to hate it. So I hope next episode's good, and then episode 5, I'm kind of going to go into it with the expectation of it's probably going to be another slow one. But last 2, I think this show at the end of the day is going to be. I hope it's good.
Okay. Dendroid. Final thoughts, predictions, all that.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it.
Wait, sorry, Austinator. You said C, right?
Yes.
Austinator. Okay, cool. All right, thank you. Sorry, Dendroid. Go ahead.
C+ for me, actually.
Okay.
There's a lot of issues that I have with this episode, but overall, I still had some fun with it. Some editing issues and all that, but I really do think that the show's gonna become a lot better now that I think we're gonna see a lot more action now, and all of that. That the Pikes are now there in present day, and all that. Some more conflict and all of that, which that's a lot better than just sitting around at a palace and all of that all the time and all. Yeah. So I think we're going to get that, and I will actually agree with Austin. I think either this upcoming episode or episode 5 will be a slow episode. But for that, I just hope the rest of the show is pretty good.
Okay, so C+. All right. Danny.
I give this a B. This is a straight B. There's some room for improvement, and I agree with what Austin has said. I think that it's definitely going to pick up the last two episodes, 6 and 7. Um, I'm thinking next week probably be another man for a lot of the panelists because it's pretty split. But I got faith, and I'm hoping, I'm really hoping that we will see something fantastic like we did on the Mandalorian. Something that'll let us continue to have faith in the Star Wars franchise because right now you don't need for it to get any lower than what it is. I do think that, well, based on what I heard, like I said, Drunk announced it, and he's pretty much in tune with that Disney stuff. That they're going to have Luke on there, Han Solo, Baby Yoda, and I think he said Ahsoka. I'm not sure, but if you see any one of those four on there, then that's definitely going to be a step in the right direction. So I give it a B, and that's what I think.
Okay. Anzo.
I give this episode a D minus. I wanted to give it a fail, but you know, like Shifty gives him said, I call him Black Chewy Shifty. That's what I call him. But yeah, that beginning part was pretty decent for me until the Power Rangers came in. So it's a D minus for me. Not sure where they're going. I just know we're gonna get him riding a Rancor, and I don't think we're gonna see enough cool shit from him to make me really want to say this series is great. So I'm hoping it does. We'll see what happens, but I don't know, man. So far, I'm almost checking out of it, to be honest with you.
Okay. I'm gonna say let's go C plus. I've been in the C plus B minus range. There's a lot of good things I think that they could do. They just need to be a little smarter with their choices. They definitely need to get Boba to be a little more kick-ass. I mean, there's got to be some reason. They got to get to that. I mean, it's, you know, you don't show them one way and then, you know, this is another problem with having different people direct different things. You got to be on a team and talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've mentioned it before. The problem with DC movies is they seem to contradict themselves. And even though I don't watch it, I do know enough about CW DC stuff to know that they seem to at least somewhat discuss stuff between most of those shows, and they mostly work together. So it's got to be communication somewhere. Because again, you guys said it. He seemed to be pretty kick-ass in The Mandalorian, but now all of a sudden, what is the reason for it? Why are we doing the tank and all of this stuff? God, I don't want, but I'm right there with Janza. I believe they're going to have him ride a Rancor. And it's going to be the last episode. It's going to be like, what the? I mean, it's happened before. It was in the holiday special. I can't remember what it was he wrote in that, but he wrote this monstrous beast, and that's why he says I've ridden 10 things 10 times the size. So I mean, there's precedence to it, and that's George Lucas precedence. So fine, you just got to get a lot better at how they're executing this stuff. I'm being nice by giving a C plus or a B minus most of the time because I'm giving it a chance to get better and get to the point. But man, you just think these things out. So B's, I see B minus in the chat. Kirstanton. There we go. All right. But after that, guys, I thank all of you for being here today, showing up and helping us talk about this episode. We're going to go around the chat. Let's start with Austinator first. Tell them about yourself, your channel, all that stuff really quick. And yeah, go ahead, Austinator.
Yeah, so before I even get into my stuff, go and check out the Chaos Central Twitter. Literally right after the stream, I'm going to be putting out another tweet for the other Book of Boba Fett Roundtable tonight. I will pin that, and I will just go and check that out when you can. I'll be doing that for all the Chaos Central shows, so and hopefully we'll get some polls out there too, and just getting it back up and running. I have my own channel where I just talk about stuff. I'm at over 200 subs. Just, you know, I'm not at the point yet where I'm like, all right, we need to get to 300. You know, I'm comfortable where I'm at right now. Just sub if you can, because I do a bunch of cool stuff over there. You can find me on Chris Knight's channel, The Real Review 3000 for the weekly wrap up and the Rumble. You can find me also in the Droid Cantina for Galactic Chat and some other stuff. You can find me on Chaos Central for the Book of Boba Fett Roundtable. You can find me on Guy Scar's channel on Wednesdays for the Hangout. You can find me basically at this point everybody's channels. You'll find me at. So just go check them all out. And lastly, you can find me on Twitter at TheAustinator17. Sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet, sometimes I don't. It's a lottery. Go check me out. Chris, thanks for having me on again. This was a great show. Great to see everybody again. Let's do this sometime next week. You muted, Chris.
Dendroid, go ahead. Sorry.
All right.
Without me JJing it.
All right. You guys can personally find me on my channel, the Droid Cantina, which is getting some rebranding and all of that. So new Star Wars content and more. So guys, go check that out. There's gonna be a lot of fun stuff on there. Galactic Chat is every single Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where we also talk about the Book of Boba Fett. So yeah. And thank you, Chris, for having me on. This was a good show.
Not a problem. I really like having you guys on. I like the two-group thing. I know that this is pretty much...
It's the best show, Dendroid. The best.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I will say it's fun on both. So there you go. Damn it. Anyways, next up, Danny, go ahead.
I'm Danny Graham, aka Comic Chat. Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find me on the Chaos Central channel. Show is Chaotic Conversation. Myself, Ozzo, Chris Knight, Terrence. Sometimes we have Ashley on there. Usually 4 topics, ranging from anything that pops in my mind that particular day. And then, of course, Tuesday nights, Wednesday night, we on Ozzo show, Chaos List, Chris show, Rule of 3. And yesterday, we had a good show going on. Let's go! Okay, let's go Steelers.
Sorry.
Let's go. I don't care who went on neither one of them, so I don't care. But just Saturday afternoons, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch us on Square One where we talk all. Yesterday was all NFL. It's probably gonna be all NFL for the rest of until Super Bowl. So if you're not doing anything on Saturday afternoons, go ahead and tune in and catch us. Good conversation. Thanks for the invite,
Awesome.
Chris. Good shows as always.
Not a problem. Anzo, go ahead.
Yes, sir. You guys know the channel Bigger Ford Entertainment. Don't really need to shout out all the shows because you guys know Chaos List, Chaotic Conversation, Rule of 3, OOC, Roundtables. We try to do it all. We try to keep you guys entertained. And that's always appreciative of all you guys that come in and spend some time with us for sure. It's much appreciated. But other than that, great show. And let's go Steelers.
All right. Yes, I am Chris Knight. The Real Review 3000 is my channel. Again, guys, thank you for being here. Remember, at 9 o'clock, we have the next one up. That's just in about 20 minutes. So stick around, come back, watch the second group talk about this show, and see if anything gets perhaps a little better or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see what other people think. But with that said, guys, thank you, everybody. Thank you for everybody in the chat. And yeah, peace.
Peace.